Vaca.
Okay, so have you ever wondered what it's like to have, like, the weight of the world on your shoulders? Like, you're making a decision that could change the course of history.
Well, that's the life of a cardinal during a papal conclave.
And it's the premise of this new movie, Conclave, by the way.
Yes. Coming out soon, right?
Exactly.
You know, what I find fascinating about the whole conclave thing
Yeah.
is how it takes this really old, like, ritualistic thing, choosing a pope, and throws in all this human drama. Like, you have these cardinals who are supposed to be divinely inspired, but they're still human, with ambitions, personalities.
And secrets.
Oh, absolutely. Secrets galore.
And this film does not shy away from that at all.
I mean, that's where things get really interesting, right?
We did a deep dive on all the trailers and everything they've released so far.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah. And let me tell you, this Conclave movie looks intense.
More than just intense, I think. It feels like it's going to really dig into things like faith and how an institution like the Catholic Church deals with power.
And change. How could I forget change?
Right. Especially in a world that feels like it's constantly evolving.
Which, by the way, not everyone knows all the ins and outs of the Vatican.
Yeah, it can be a bit of a mystery.
So for those who need a little refresher, a papal conclave, that's basically how they choose a new pope.
Right, after the previous one passes away or steps down.
It's this whole thing.
Yeah, totally steeped in tradition, shrouded in secrecy.
The cardinals, they're basically like the VIPs of the Catholic Church, right?
Exactly. And they get locked down in the Vatican.
No phones, no internet, no contact with the outside world.
Just them, their prayers, and the heavy burden of picking the next pope.
Can you imagine the pressure? And the movie really plays on that by setting everything within the Vatican walls.
Oh, I bet that setting becomes a character in itself, don't you think? All that history, all those secrets just oozing out of the walls.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have our main man, Cardinal Lawrence, played by the one and only Ralph Fiennes.
No way. He's perfect for that kind of role.
He's tasked with, leading the conclave, which is already a massive deal on its own.
Right. But of course, there has to be a twist. It wouldn't be a thriller without one.
And boy, is there a twist.
Yeah.
Cardinal Lawrence uncovers this huge conspiracy.
Yeah.
We're talking something that could rock the church to its core.
Ooh, okay. Now that's what I'm talking about. This
Yeah.
is where it gets juicy.
I know, right?
So what kind of conspiracy are we talking? What could be so explosive that it could bring down the entire Catholic Church?
Oh, we won't give too much away, but
Okay, fair enough.
but I will say this. It's not just Ralph Fiennes in this movie. We've also got Stanley Tucci and John Lithgow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Talk about a powerhouse cast. With names like that attached, you know it's got to be good.
exactly. This isn't just some fluff piece. And speaking of heavy hitters, let's
Yeah.
talk about who's running the show behind the scenes. We've got Edward Berger directing, and he knows a thing or two about complex characters and high-stakes situations.
Oh, for sure. I mean, his other work, he often digs into themes of like power, morality, all that good stuff. So he's definitely in his element here.
Absolutely. And then there's Peter Strahan, the screenwriter. He adapted the movie from like a really popular novel by Robert Harris.
Oh, right. I think I've heard of him. He writes those historical thrillers, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got a real knack for like blending fact and fiction.
Which is perfect for a movie about the Vatican, right?
Totally.
Speaking of which, did you see those keywords they have for the film on TMDb? They're kind of giving it away, aren't they?
Oh, you mean Vatican, religion, Catholic Church,
Mm.
The usual suspects, and of course, papal conclave.
It's like they're saying, hey, pay attention. This is what we're about to unpack.
Yeah, they're definitely laying it on thick.
But those keywords, they do more than just describe the setting, right? They hint at something bigger. Like we're about to go on a deep dive into faith and power, how those things play out in a modern context.
And how those in power choose to wield it.
Precisely. It's wild, though, how they mix the genres in this.
Oh, tell me about it. Drama, thriller, mystery. It's like they threw it all in a blender.
But it works, especially with the conclave as a backdrop. I mean, think about it. You've got this group of, like, seriously powerful people
Isolated from the world.
making decisions that affect millions.
Millions.
Like, automatically dramatic, right?
No doubt. And then, boom, conspiracy hits you right in the face.
Oh, yeah, those secrets bubbling under the surface waiting to explode.
Totally amps up the tension.
And that's where the mystery comes in, too. You're trying to figure it out alongside Cardinal Lawrence.
Trying to untangle it all. Who's
Yeah.
behind it? What are they hiding? The stakes are so high.
It's like that classic who can you trust situation, but inside the Vatican.
And we all know, Catholic Church.
Yeah.
not exactly known for airing its dirty laundry.
Right, which just makes the whole thing even more intriguing. Like, how deep do these secrets go?
And that tagline, what happens behind these walls will change everything.
Ooh, chills. It makes you wonder, are they really just talking about the Vatican? Or is it bigger than that?
Right. Like, we all have secrets, right? Institutions, governments, they're all built on something.
It's that peek behind the curtain that gets you. Makes you wonder, what don't we know and who's pulling the strings?
A little unsettling when you really think about it.
Totally. And that's what good storytelling does, right? Gets you thinking about the bigger picture.
It's like they're saying, yeah, the Vatican all mysterious and untouchable, but what if we took you inside?
And using a thriller to do it?
Yeah.
Genius.
Right. You're not just watching, you're there with the Cardinals.
Feeling that pressure.
Totally.
Yeah.
And these Cardinals, they're not just playing politics here.
No, they're wrestling with their faith, too.
Which I think makes the whole faith aspect so much more interesting.
Oh, for sure. It's not just believe everything or you're out. It's
Right.
about doubt, too.
That struggle to reconcile faith with what's happening around you.
Exactly. And don't forget, even these cardinals, they're human, right?
They make mistakes, they mess up.
Makes you realize they're not so different from any of us.
Exactly. Which makes you think, what would I do in that situation?
That's the mark of a good story right there.
So after all this, what does it all mean for us? Just regular people trying to figure things out.
That's the beauty of a movie like Conclave. It sparks those bigger conversations.
Makes you question things.
The choices we make, the things we believe in,
And maybe it pushes us to look inward a bit,
and our own beliefs.
at the things that shape our world.
Because whether it's the Vatican or our own lives, the truth always comes out.
So I think it's safe to say Conclave, it's more than just a movie. It makes you think.
It's an experience.
And it reminds us, even behind closed doors, we're all human.
And the truth, it always finds a way.
Well, there you have it. Our deep dive on Conclave. Be sure to check back for our next episode where we'll be, well, you'll just have to wait and see. Until then, happy watching.
Lavaca guy.